I once again find myself suffering from success, and we have a couple of announcements that I'll get to in about a minute that I think you guys will find interesting as far as Galaxy of Heroes content coming soon. Um, we have all of the remaining Leia requirements at 7 stars, which is nice, but unfortunately, in the process, we had to hoard crystals to do the 25 and 50 shard buys of all of the characters to help get them quicker before the drops were even announced. So we were depleted there. We did refreshes for the event to get them there. So we're real depleted on crystals, and we didn't have the crystal kind of saved up in order to go into and buy relic material. So it's going to be kind of a drag to get them all up to Relic 7. And I think a lot of that is also because over in ships, we've been using all of our cantina to get the silencer to 7 stars, so we can get the finalizer to 7 stars, so that I can get SLKR cooking the books up next after we finish up the Rey ult and finish up Leia as well. Moving into Cal, and we'll do streams in the next few days, so stay tuned. Definitely notifications. I don't even know if you guys get notifications. We're going to do streams for starting a new free-to-play account. We've decided that we're going to probably create a guild, and I'm going to get 49 other people. Don't know how I'm going to find them, and we're all going to potentially do different stuff and have a whole series out of it, which should be fun. We're going to do a stream, like redoing all of the GAC 33 and 5v5 squads, because I know a lot of you just picked up a lot of new characters with the Lightspeed bundles. We're getting new Lightspeed bundles soon, so we're going to do that. I got to do my semi-annual remodding stream, so there's plenty of content coming in the near future, which should be fun. But after that, I mean, pushing Cal, and then I think a lot of people are going to have to take a focus into these Mandos. I think dark side, light side Mandos are going to be a big pickup for a lot of people who are in that mid-game, probably 6, 7, 8 million GP. I think is going to be a really valuable time to boost ISC, boost GAR for that Maul team, assuming you don't have Lord Vader. And I think, honestly, like, we might live in a world where you're going to have to ask yourself, if I'm going up against people who are so much larger, and I do have Lord Vader, do I potentially have to find a way to flex other offensive teams to defense, bring Lord Vader, Maul as 2 separate defensive teams, or 2 separate offensive teams who are both not nearly as good as, primary Max Datacron, Lord Vader, Maul. Heresy, a lot of endgame Giga Whales will tell you, but for those of us who are punching up constantly, could be potentially an important. I think the light side Mandos, I think they've said they're going to be powerful, and I think a lot of people who are going to pounce on them early, farming up Imperial Remnant and farming up light side Mandalorians, are going to be pretty happy, I would say, from what I'm hearing about how this is all going to play out. And then I think a lot of people who are in this kind of light speed bundle craze right now, a lot of it's like picking up the tertiary backbone teams like the Zoris and the Dashes and all of this other stuff that's going to really help out, is going to be a big play there for you guys. But some other things, there's just like this crazy zeitgeist going around with people who are like totally changing their farms. And I feel like we've long passed the point of, people being confused about what they should be doing with their rosters post Lightspeed, but we've kind of entered into the part of the game where you're finishing up probably the first of your Lightspeed farms, whether it's SLKR or Rey or even Starkiller if you happen to buy that pack, and it's kind of clashing that tail off point of doing doing like your ultimate ticket grind or whatever is interfering with what you were previously farming, and they're clashing at the exact same time. And I've noticed a lot of people who are like I'm equidistant from Rey and insert other, maybe they were farming JML or JMK or Leo or a backbone team or something like that. They're just clashing at the same time, and then it always just so happens that you finish like 4 days after a GAC lock-in, so you're kind of screwed for the next upcoming event. But I mean, I think that's just the kind of the way of the water, and I mean, especially if you're moving in the direction of Leia, I'm sure you'll share this sentiment. I re-rolled this. I've re-rolled this like 5 or 6 times, trying to get the Drogon, trying to get the Captain Drogon Datacron. I'm assuming that of the factions, he's Rebel and not Ewok, and not Unaligned Force User, not Imperial Trooper. So I've been doing refreshes, and I've gotten Saw, I've gotten Wedge, I've gotten. I started with Akbar. I got Leia Organa, and I'm pretty sure I got Rolo as well. I might actually have Rolo on right now. Yeah, I have Rolo on right now. I'm just getting completely shafted. I was like, it would be nice. I'm going to have a Relic 7 Drogon. I'll have a Leia. I should probably get the Datacron to make them extra unbeatable, place them on defense, get some climb up in GAC. And then CG is just like, we're not going to tell you the odds of rolling one of the prime Datacrons. We're just going to make it hard so that the people with money will spend to get reroll mats and get them. And I was like, well, maybe, I don't know, tell me the percent chance, because I know they're unweighted, and they kind of, maybe it actually tells you that they're how unweighted they are. No, does it not? It doesn't tell you how unweighted they are. But yeah, no, I'm kind of sad, mostly because I know that it's a thing that they've talked about openly many times, and I just wish I knew. Like, if it was like a 1% chance of getting Drogon, I wouldn't have re-rolled like 40 times to try and get him to boost up my eventual Leia team. I would have just accepted the fact that I'm not going to have it and, worked on stats or something like that. But I've basically rendered this Datacron useless. It has some defense, which is nice, and it does have bonuses for rebels, which is also nice, but I've effectively made it super expensive to reroll any of the stats to make it like a god tier mod, and it doesn't have any of the 369 that would make it actually amazing, and I am quite sad about that. Very sad indeed. And then I think the last order of business is kind of figuring out what the hell am I going to do with Reva, because she's like one of the best characters in the entire game, and she's sitting basically unusable. Now, conventional wisdom would say that I just farm up the Inquisitors, unlock Grand Inquisitor, throw them there, have like the best backbone team in the game, better than most of the GLs, to be perfectly honest with you, aside from, a couple of them that have like really OP Datacrons right now. I guess they have some unaligned force user that they can use. And then another thing, obviously, that you guys are all well aware of that I've been considering is just running Cedar Junda, Terran, Third Sister, because they are unaligned force users, and they will kind of, she would make that team better, I believe. But I've literally never seen this anywhere in the wild, and I have absolutely no idea if it would be a good idea, because I can't see any testing of it. And I've had no first-hand accounts of how good this team is. Like, this could be the worst team ever. Like, there could be some mechanic that just absolutely ruins how good this team is. There could be a mechanic that makes this team quite literally unbeatable. I have no idea. But I'm kind of sitting in that sad little zone where it's all just speculation, because I don't have the Kairos or the gear or the relic materials or anything like that, or even the shards of Cedar Junda or Malicos to make them useful. So this is a sad time indeed. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's always loving. I'll see you later.